Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday they can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmakers getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting played. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty all picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Fucking monies. It's Friday, fellas. Welcome to the Balking Dead, where there is no sleep for the wicked. Of course, guys, we're coming off a very frustrating day, to say the least. To start the day 3-0 and finish fucking 3-3 is not what I do this for. So we got one more day to add to our weekly total of units. And you already know we bring on my boy Spin Dog Sports for this packed ass motherfucking card as it is, bro. I think you moved to Fridays because it's just better, huh? You're like, fuck that.
Yep.
Fuck Tuesdays, Sharpie. Give me Fridays. How you been, my guy?
Good. You know, it's been a good week. My public play, my tout play is 14-5 now. We were on a 14-4 run. Took one on the chin last night. I hear you about being frustrated. Every chance in the world to hit that one last night with Christopher Sanchez. Rays were making all this 2-strike contact they don't normally make, but that was yesterday. Today is today. And like I said, still on a 14-5 run with my public play. I'll have another one tonight. And yeah, let's attack. Because
I mean, my 2 bad days, I'm down 30 whole cents, you know, but I don't fucking care. Like, I don't do this shit just to fucking lose a little juice, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have some fucking drastic days in there, but I thought BB wouldn't have a problem walking those lefties. No, he had a fucking problem walking every fucking righty at the top of the goddamn lineup. He didn't walk no lefties at the bottom. It was just the whole top 3 lineup walked. The top 3 walked like fucking 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Well,
yeah.
And I actually had a good start to the day. I gave out my first VIP. I gave out my first walks prop of the year using some even deeper metrics that I actually combo metrics that I created myself, and it worked. And it worked like a charm. Hogan Harris was over 1.5 walks in the second inning. So I was like, shit, this is going to be a good day. Boy, did it take a turn. So let's get back on it.
Started the day with Peralta, you know, so I know. I feel, and then hit Lynn, and then hit another to get whop, sit the fuck down. All right, guys, we're on to today, though, so let's get it. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSports on your first deposit. They will match you up to $100, minimum of 25. As you already know, though, we do have 2 sponsors on this show, and that's W, guys, a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. And by scanning the QR code on screen, guys, you're going to get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code out there, Pub freaking sports, without the freaking in there, of course. So Pub Sports, that is. Shout out to the chat, guys. Appreciate you all for coming. And yeah, it's Friday, guys. You guys already know the drill. Smash that like button if you already have it, and make sure you do have them notification bells on. If time permitting, guys, at the end of the show, we will touch on a few other pitchers that you guys ask about in the chat. We are going to touch on Castillo and Cease, but no crazy breakdown. I didn't tell him that, but yeah, just told you. So I know you do all the work. So
I capped him anyway, so that's fine.
yeah, you cap 1 through fucking 50 every day. Today I had to actually cap 12, which that's a lot for me to actually do. But on this show, guys, I give you my bets. So if we're not talking about a guy, guess what? I ain't got a bet on him. So yeah, there we go. Let's talk about the first guy on the board. Zach Wheeler at the Marlins, number 19 in the book, guys. This year he has a 27% strikeout percentage and a 5.3 walk percentage. Morning line was 7+ at plus 110 on FanDuel. The best line available now is minus 115 on DraftKings to the over 6.5. And that's where PrizePicks has him as well. His hits allowed on PrizePicks under over are a flat 5. Projected lineup today is 6 righties, 3 lefties for your fishies. K per 9 this season. 10K per night at home, 10.6 on the road. Where righties, he's got nearly 11.5 and a solid 9K per 9 versus the left-handed side. Let's talk Zach attacks.
There's a lot to me, there's a lot to unpack for this one, man, because so you have a lot of conflicting factors here. So I sent it out one time last week just to show people what I do. But I put together a combined swing metrics chart every single day that combines the last 20 days of metrics. I had my own math, and then basically calculate what teams are above or below what it's a standard deviation. So like the accepted amount of wiggle room between from the average to top and bottom. And there are only 4 teams that are above in 5 of the 10 major swing categories. One is the Astros, one's the Nationals, one's the Guardians. All of those you would expect. The 4th is the Marlins, 80.8% contact rate over the last 20 days. That is second in all of baseball. They have one of the lowest first pitch strikes. They have the lowest swinging strike rate during that same time frame. Luis Arraez definitely rubbing off on them. Even some of the guys early in the lineup that you would expect to be like potential K candidates like Soler and De La Cruz and so on. They haven't been great, but they've been better. Where I go with this one though, so, you would think under, but my problem here is that the Marlins don't walk a lot. So they have a lot of swing metrics and they put the ball in play. So only a 6.6% walk rating over the last 20 days, against right-handed pitching. Why is that important? Well, Zach Wheeler doesn't walk anybody. 90th percentile walk rating for the season and only a 4.1% walk rating on the road. So Wheeler is going to see a lot of these guys to the end. He's not going to be trying to dance around and nip and tuck at strikes. This is a situation where he's probably going to go after these guys because they are a very patient team. And pitchers that have gone after the Marlins have been able to get strikeouts on them before. So on the other side, back to the other side with the under, Marlins only a 19.4% K percentage against righties in the last 20 days, 648 plate appearances. That's phenomenal. And then lifetime against Wheeler, this projected lineup, granted Arraez is projected to be in it, but only 17.1% strikeout rate in 70 plate appearances. This is one where I don't know if I could pick a side if I tried. I tried to go back and forth on this one and say, I have a lean to this or lean to that. I really don't. I'm passing on Wheeler, but if you're gonna play him, I couldn't even tell you what side to play. I know that's a non-answer, and I have much more concrete info and opinions about the other guys. He was the one that I just couldn't pick a side.
You don't get to pick who we pick. I pick who we pick, and he gave you a breakdown on that, guys. So I mean, fuck. Like he said, though, bro, it usually doesn't take me this long on each guy. I was having to do up to an hour on some of these guys, dude, because this shit ain't just as easy as you fucking think today, guys. There ain't no, clear cut, here's some fucking money. Let's get it on this today. No, we've got fucking guys going up against teams who don't strike out, and we've got a lot of fishy numbers. We've got a lot of weird shit going on today, so let me do a little spit on him as well, because this might actually go towards the under, I guess, the way I'm seeing it. So now, guys, we get to talk the spot, guys, where, like we said, the numbers are going to say no to a K prop, guys. But once again, we always say on this show, numbers are like lawyers. They don't necessarily tell the truth. They don't necessarily lie to you. They just don't tell the whole truth. And we know the Marlins have this day and age Tony Gwynn guys in their batting order. And like you said, they're only striking out at a 20% clip over their last 15 days. They're also not walking, like he said, guys, but they're also not hitting where they were slugging it in the beginning of the June, guys. Now isolated power has dropped down to 137, which is 22nd in the league. So when running K-props versus Miami, we know we ain't going to get RIS. But the rest of this team is at times pick-onable, guys. So we look at past history, and Wheeler played these Marlins earlier in the year. He went out there, went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, and the numbers said fucking fire away as they were striking out at a 27% clip. And he got pulled at 93 pitches after retiring 14 of the last 15 batters. And that was in April, guys. This is in June. I tend to believe that they actually send his ass back out there today, where in April they tend to baby their guys just a little bit. This is coming up on his last start on the All-Star break. So if he's going, guys, I think they just let him go today. So, yeah, past history there says, yeah, okay, but they were striking out to where they weren't striking out now. When we go back to last year, guys, and he may have seen them in April. I don't track April last year with with Wheeler. His velocity was down. He just wasn't Wheeler. So what the fuck is the point of tracking those games? And I didn't. He faced them one time last year in the time where his velo was fine. And the numbers said no, but they also were not hitting like they're not hitting today. And he went 6 innings and had 8 strikeouts. So the more and more I dug in, guys, I then had to go look at the batter versus pitcher freaking plate appearances. What do these guys do versus this guy? Since, you know, it says he's done some damage, but like he says, Arias is going to be in this lineup where, you know, most of the not, guys, he hasn't been in last year's ones and was in the one in this year. But let's look at it, guys. When we look at it, he's not going to strike out Arias. He's not going to strike out Soler, as in 12 plate appearances. He struck out 0 times. And he's not going to get a goddamn strikeout from Gene Segura, as in 18 plate appearances versus Wheeler. He got a goose egg next to his egg. So when we look at just those guys, those 3 people combined over the last 15 days are striking out at a 12.7% clip. And they've already got numbers that say they don't strike out to Zach Wheeler, guys. So you're behind the fucking 8 ball trying to get 7 strikeouts versus 6 other men, in my opinion. So I actually lean towards his under today, guys, but I believe the outs are going to hit as his under in strikeouts. A la what Mitch Keller did to these boys a couple weeks back, going 7 innings, getting 5 strikeouts. Like I could see one of those type of games. They are giving us plus money on that 18.5. I have not pulled the trigger on it yet, but that is the way I'm leaning on the over part. Anything extra?
Just two quick things. Yeah. One, I think that, well, actually, no. Well, first things first, the umpire for this game just got released. And if you like the over in this game, it is not the umpire you want. It's Chris Guccione, only a 20.7% strikeout rate, which is a little bit below average. And in games that he has umpired this year, strikeouts can decrease by as much as 10%. Not always, but they can. So when you factor that in with a team that does take to the degree that does take at least they have a few hitters that are very patient, like you mentioned with Segura and Arise. All those lead to extra pitches. Overall, over his last 5 starts, Wheeler is averaging, he's going to throw 100 pitches, and he averages about 3.5 to 3.75 pitches per batter. Yes, I break it down to the number of pitches per batter that the guy throws. So that's probably going to be a little bit higher today. And the last thing with this one is, I think regardless if you were on the over or the under, you're going to be sweating it towards the end with the strikeout prop. And with just this card is just jam packed. There are so many other better places to spend your money.
Man, maybe for you, bro. I had a tough time getting my bets in today, bro. I thought this was such a tough day today, bro. But let's talk the other side of this. Sandy Alcantara, guys, he gets the Phillies, and he's number 28 in the black book. And maybe he should be like 68, but it has to do with last year where he was placed. He's got a 19.7 strikeout percentage, which is just disgusting, but he has a 7.3 walk percentage. Opened him up on FanDuel, 6+ minus 128. Excuse me. His best line available now to the over 5.5 is on MGM at the -135. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, whereas earned runs, outs, and hits are not available on PrizePicks. Projected lineup for your Phillies is 5 lefties, 4 righties, whereas K per 9 this season, 7.7 at home where he's at today, 7.3 on the road with an 8 K per 9 versus the left-handed side and a 6.9 versus the right-handed side. I don't even know if I call him the Sandy Man anymore, but let's talk Alcantara.
Yeah, I give Sandy a little bit of grace here because, yes, he's not striking a ton of guys out, but the trade-off for that is, I mean, he's just going deep as hell in the games. The last 5 starts, which is actually pretty indicative of his whole season, averaging 26 batters faced. Of the guy I capped almost the whole card today, that is numero uno. The only one that even comes close to that is Zach Gallen, who we'll talk about in a little bit. So he's facing a ton of guys. So you got to think, when you have a 19% K rate against, 22.5 to 24 plate appearances, which is what most starters have, versus 26 to 28, that's an extra strikeout usually here and there, and he's lined appropriately because of it. But what I see with Sandy is there's a few conflicting metrics here. Number one, the Phillies have a high chase rate over the last 21 days, 32.4% compared to a league average of 29. And Sandy has a 91st percentile chase rating. So he does get guys to go fishing. The Phillies chase contact is just average. So a little bit of wiggle room there. All their other swing metrics are, quite honestly, just kind of average. Some are good, some are bad. Everything is pretty much average here. But Sandy's plate appearances alone indicate an over. But it's really tough because, like, last I looked on, I mean, it was at like -140, -150 in some places. It's really hard to pay that kind of juice for it. But then on the other side, what I would ask you is, if you want to play an under here, do you really want to count on a guy that's as good as Sandy, that can get strikeouts when he needs to only get 5 strikeouts if he's going to face 27 guys, 27, 28 batters, and potentially go 7 or 8 innings? That is probably a little bit of a bridge too far for me. So it's going to be a pass for me. I think if you are going to try to play this one, just given the juice to value, under is probably your only option here. I just can't pay that much juice for a guy who, for the most part of the year, has been pitching to contact.
That's been Sandy his whole goddamn career, bro. Last year I had him for over 5.5, and he went 9 innings and 3 strikeouts on me one time. I just call that, you got Alcantara. But let's talk some Alcantara, my friends. And the numbers over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers say they're not striking out. They're middle of the pack. They're not walking, though, at a 6.5% clip. And they do have a solid 163 isolated power. So there's really not a lot to take away from those numbers. So let's just go look at past history versus this team. And seen them earlier this year back in April, and he got baptized going 4 innings, giving up 9 earned runs while only striking out 4. And we know they're in the same division, and he's seen them 5 times last year, guys, not counting a back-to-back, so really 6. And he was 2-3 to the over 5.5 they have him at today. I know we get a lower number on him today due to the past history, guys, but if we dig into it a little deeper and look at the batter versus pitcher splits, you're not going to get freaking Stott and Baum. Those are 2 guys that just don't punch out. And in 42 plate appearances, they have 6 strikeouts versus Alcantara. What? Okay, let's go look at the top of the order, guys, who I picked on the other day with Eflin because of their whiff percentage. And these guys are all, the top 4 guys in the Phillies are 5% worse than league average in whiffing. And that's normally something I look for, guys, in running an Alcantara prop, because this fucker likes to go deep. He's not going to waste a bunch of pitches. He's going to attack you 0-2. He's not going to go slider, 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 slider. He might throw one, but he's going to come right at you with that 99 two-seamer and try to jam you right there. He's content with that type of shit. I've seen it too many freaking times. So, can we go pick on these guys, right? Let's go. Let's get ahead of them, right? No, the fuck we can't. As Trey Turner, Castellanos, and Harper all have nothing higher than a 19% strikeout percentage versus Alcantara and nothing less than 33 plate appearances. This lineup has seen this man well, at least not striking out, guys. Yeah, most of the games last year he did go deep most of the time, But this is just an easy fucking pass at the end of the day. At first, I thought I wanted to attack the whiff percentage. And once I've seen these batter versus hitter stats, I said, it's just fucking 180 that bitch, and said, we ain't paying no juice. Not when these guys, I look for 15 plate appearances personally, guys. These guys have 30 plus and a K percentage of nothing higher than 19, and some of them fucking below 4. So it's gonna be a tough time getting these boys out, in my opinion, as like they're not striking out now. They didn't strike out in the 7 games they've seen you the last 2 seasons. I just can't get there, guys. But yeah, not for me.
Yep, agreed.
All right. We got another great pitching matchup, and that's Charlie Momo at the Rays. Number 29 in the black book this year has a 26% strikeout percentage and a 10% walk percentage. Open them up on DraftKings 7+ minus 105, where the closing line is now on MGM. Best available to that over 6.5 is at plus 105. And that 6.5 is where PrizePicks has them, whereas pitching outs under over are at 17 on PrizePicks. Projected lineup is not projected because they did run 6 righties, 3 lefties. K per 9 this season, 11.1 at home, 9.8 on the road, where lefties he's striking out 12.2 K per 9 and righties only an 8.7. Let's chalk Charlie Mimo, and I know you ain't going over with him on the road because I didn't listen to a couple weeks back. It might have been months back versus the Rose. He's like, I can't bet him on the road, Sharpie. I can't bet him on the road. And I said, I am. Fucker, I had one.
That was its Cardinals. Yeah, no.
I don't even remember what it was, bro. I'm sure you do.
Of course I do.
No, you bet the Cardinals under. I bet it was the Royals. Royals, I think he had 5. Right. He had 5, bro. It wasn't 1, but it was still something he should have shattered.
That's right. Well, either way, road is tough for me with old man Charlie here. You know, there are a few factors that might support an over. Morton does have an 86th percentile whiff rating, and it's actually been, if you tracked every pitcher in their last 3 or 4 starts, it would be even higher than that. The Rays over the last 20 days, their swinging strike percentage is just god awful. MLB average is 11.2. They're at 13.4. And when you think about it, that is also that's actually factored for the Rays over 678 plate appearances. So you think about how many pitches they saw in those plate appearances, and to have a swinging strike rate over 2% higher than league average, gag me. During that same time, they also have a CSW or called strikes plus whiff rating of 29.4%, which is almost league worse. There were many reasons why I was on Christopher Sanchez last night to get 4 strikeouts against him. Fucker couldn't do it, but that's a different story. So, you know, Morton's chase rating is okay. The Rays have been chasing a lot. They're almost dead last in swing rate outside. But my thing here with Morton is that his L versus R splits on the road are striking, quite honestly. 30.5% against lefties and 18.4% against righties. Oof. Oh, baby. This is a pure under look for me. Also because the umpire was announced for this one. It is Jerry Lane. Jerry Lane is for sure a hitter's umpire. 19.7% K percentage. I mentioned how Chris Guccione's 20.7 was under league average. Well, 19.7 for sure is. And in games he's umped this year, strikeouts can go down by as much as 15%. So that's even more of an accelerator than Chris Guccione. The only ones that are really high, there's a few other ones leading all up to the patron saint of overprops, Mr. Bill Miller himself, who I don't believe is going to be behind the plate tonight in any game, but should this weekend. So under is really the only way that I can look here. But given the Rays swing metrics lately, man, is it hard for me to bet on them to not strike out.
Bro, I'm so glad you were here and talking. My cat just knocked down my Wi-Fi box, and I spun out for like 30 seconds, and I'm like, do I got to restart everything? Do I got to fucking dumb cats, bro? But yeah, let's talk us some old Charlie Mimo. And, dude, this is one of these games where it took me a lot of time to grind it out, guys. And like we said, a lot of great pitching matchups today. And the next one up is Morton versus Glass now. And we're talking to some Uncle Charlie versus these Rays, where over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers, they are not walking at a 6.8%, and they're striking out near a 24% clip. And they're carrying a solid isolated power of a $178. So there's some action in these numbers along with some volatility. So let's go see who the Rays have seen in that span that we would put our money on. Aaron Nola went 7.1 innings with 12 yapos, guys. Luis Castillo went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Zach Gallen went 6 innings with just 4. And those are some fucking studs. And they went 1-3 to the over that they put Morton at today. But they all went 6 innings or more. So that's something to take out of it, guys. And the fact that the books are offering a bettable 6.5 on Morton, where he's hit this over 80% of his last 10 games, tells me the books know something here. They don't just give out free money, guys. So what is it that they know? And I'm pretty sure I know what they're seeing. His fucking issues, guys, right here. It's strikeouts versus right-handed batters falls off a cliff on the road with Morton, and we see that the Rays have loaded up 6 righties. Just this year alone, he has a 25% strikeout percentage versus right-handed batters at home and just an 18.4% on the road. It's not just this year, guys. Last year, he had an elite 35.2K percentage at home versus righties, and it dropped down to a 23.4 on the road. Ruh-roh. There's some real fucking issues, guys, with this guy on the road and striking people out, guys. And the books have pretty much given you a strikeout prop, saying, please, 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 please bet this over, guys. So there is no way in hell that I can get in on what seems to be a trappy fucking line, as, guys, I think this line should not be this. And I'm okay with letting it go in this piece. Now, the one thing that does scare me here, like as if he's going to hit his over, not scare me. I will never be upset if a guy catches his over and I'm not on it, because I don't really bet unders. And I get when a guy has a great day, guys. And eventually he's not going to be that ass on the road all the time. And my thing is here, guys, is if you want Morton, I would take him up 2, maybe even 3, and put a little sprinkle on his ass. Now, I like to compare pitches from pitchers, guys. And the one guy who had 12 was Nola. Nola throws a beautiful knuckle curve, guys. And what is Charlie Mimo's out pitch, guys? Uncle Charlie throws a curveball as well, guys. So maybe the curveball is the pitch to punk these Rays, guys. And if this fool goes out there and racks them up today, guess what? Sharpie learned a very, very good lesson on this team, and we've got a whole half a season to pick on him with it. So, yeah, like fucking we did with the Cardinals last night, guys. We found pitches to pick on with certain people, guys. It's not always about a strikeout percentage. So maybe Nola showed us something, and if Morton backs it up, it's given us some solid shit to go off of, in my opinion. But I ain't no way I'm betting them over. Anything else?
No. I mean, he made it till the very end on my underlooks, but yeah, I just couldn't get there because of the Rays' just horrendous swing metrics lately. When you chase pitches that often, and yes, they have faced some studs, but they've also faced some duds too. So when you swing that often and chase that often and have that high of a swinging strike rate against a pitcher like Morton who can make you whiff, you're playing with fire. So, if the Rays were more patient and actually I thought were capable of taking some of those pitches, I would have a strong look. I might even tout their under prop on this one, just because of, remember I talk about using umpires as tiebreakers. Umpire is strongly in the batter's favor tonight. However, the umpire can't call a ball if you're hacking at shit. If you don't give him a chance, he can't call a ball. So, and that's what the Rays have been doing. So in the end, it was a pass for me. But if you are going to do like I looked at this one and said, I know that it's very rare, but some books like Bovada sometimes offers it where you can do alt unders. Like I'm not opposed to parlaying him as on an alt under, like under 7.5 or something like that. But honestly, this line should really be a 5.5 juiced heavily to the over instead of the 6.5, with basically making both sides playable.
Man, I there's no way I would ever bet a over. I mean, not saying that it doesn't hit. It hit with Senga the other day, guys, but more often than not, it just saves me money.
Yep.
When they're giving you a prop that's hit at 80% of the time, and hence the reason why I had to stay off Castillo, guys, at 90% that they're putting them at. I don't fucking do that, bro. Like the way I bet is the average and figuring out the juice off of that and what they are doing with it. And if I can't figure it out, bro, nah. And I can figure them out. And I see them begging for this over money. And like I said, if it's not the curveball, that's their problem, guys. He's going under as fuck. And I'm not going to bet my money not knowing that that's the pitch to attack this team.
Nope.
Now, I'm not happy with your umpire fucking shit because we going to talk about the other side of this. And
yeah, I know.
Obviously, I like me some Tyler Glass now, but let's talk about him. 36.4 strikeout percentage this year with a 9.7 walk percentage. 8+ morning line was at a -138 on FanDuel, where the best line available now is at a -125. People betting under. I love it. PrizePicks has him at a 7.5, whereas pitching outs on PrizePicks are at a flat 17. Lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties. It's your everyday Braves lineup. K per 9, small sample size this season, so no home road. Lefties, 14.5 K per 9, and righties, 13.5. This was that one game, bro, where it took me a whole fucking hour before I decided. I'm like, oh my God, am I really going to bet this fucker versus the Braves? Am I really going to fucking bet this fucker versus the Braves? I did not go into this I don't ever want to fuck with the Braves. Ever. They fucking beat people up like fucking, nah, man. They need to be arrested for what they're doing to pitching right now. But before you talk about him real quick, and then I get into him, chat. I saw the chat talk about Udi Perez being optioned. It's the All-Star break, fellas. He's getting sent. What is he going to pitch again? No. They can obviously pull up a couple other people, guys, and they are going to be watching his innings and stuff this year. Don't think this guy's gonna just get ballooned and ready to go. So he's gonna get a 2-week vacation, and he'll throw side sessions, and throw a couple bullpens, guys. He's too valuable to him. What are you gonna keep a guy on a roster for when you've got plenty of? You could send him down another fucking 5 times this year. Like, you've got action on this kid. So he's wasting a spot coming up to the All-Star break is why they sent him down. Let's talk Glass now.
All right, so you talk about how it's dangerous to go against the Braves, and there's always the chance that their offense is going to explode because, I've been on Braves opposing pitchers unders pretty much on the regular in VIP for like the last week, and it's been a fucking gold mine. Cash Yuri Perez, cash Cal Quantrill, cash Gavin Williams. I could go on and on and on, but then you look at, okay, they have an ultra low strikeout percentage during the last 2 weeks or so against right-handed pitchers. It's only 17.5%. However, then who did I just mention that they played against? Cal Quantrill, Yuri, who was baptism by fire on the road there, Brian Hoeing, I don't even know how you say it, and Gavin Williams, Shane Bieber, who doesn't really strike anybody out lately. What else do you want? They have had just an absolutely golden run here, especially over the last week of, quite frankly, just mediocre or young and unproven pitchers. Then before that, if you go back even further, because this is factored into some of these numbers as well, the whole fucking Rockies staff, they faced the Rockies 4 times. It doesn't really make a difference who it is right now. That is no strikeouts and pound the shit out of them. So we have to take that and put that aside because it's not indicative of the kind of pitcher that Glass now is. This man at home, and granted limited sample size, lefties, 40% K rate, righties 41.5. There are only 2 pitchers in Major League Baseball that touch those numbers when they're healthy. 1 is Spencer Strider, 2 is Jacob deGrom.
Those are real numbers right there.
That's the list. Ohtani doesn't make the list. Gallen doesn't make the list. Gausman doesn't make that list. Those are the 3 people.
Rodon may come close, but he only make it.
Yeah. So I adjust the Braves swing metrics a little more for the whole year. And when I do, what I find is that against right-handed pitchers, more specifically against right-handed power pitchers, because Glass now is a power pitcher.
Love this.
They can strike out a lot more than you might think. Now, Now, you talk about Jerry Lane. Now we talk about the umpire. That requires you, remember, the umpire can't call balls if you take pitches. So let's look. Their overall swing rate is higher than normal, so 48.9% versus a league average of 47.7. Their outside the zone chase rate is right at league average, and their inside the zone rate is way over average. It's almost 5% over average. So what that tells me is if Glasnow can throw strikes, if he can consistently throw strikes, they don't have to worry about Jerry Lane because the Braves will swing. The Braves will attack. The Braves will be aggressive. And that leads me to me, the only possible way you can bet this one is is an over, period. That's the only way you can go.
And I love how we do not usually, guys, we talk beforehand before games, and like I did bullshit and send him a message about Abbott because we weren't going to talk about him on the show. I was like, they fucking jumped this fuck to 7.5 this today. Like that, we always talk if we can't figure something out. Like the other day with Lynn, I was like 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. I did all my work and so I text him, hey bro, what the fuck, bro? I know it's rain. Is it because of rain? What the fuck? And you know what? And it was. We figured it out. Obviously, we talked about it. And the next day it opened 6.5 where it should have. And it was the rain. So we talk about a lot of things, bro. And on the days we do our show, we do not talk. And, you know, there has been a very few times where he's on an under and I'm on an over. And I thought this may be one of them games where this guy, I thought he might take his earned runs over or his strikeouts under, and I was like, God, dude, this is going to be one of those games where we might, you know, and it's because of how good this team is actually versus a high-velocity fastball. But I do my write-ups. He does his own write-ups, guys, so I may say a lot of the things he just said. Bear with it. But this is the game I dug the most on, and I mean, it took me a goddamn hour to figure out if I was betting this man today. Now, we got a spot, guys, with Tyler Glasnow that the numbers scream run for the motherfucking hills, as the Braves may be one of the best teams in baseball, and the numbers actually back it up. As over the last 15 days, the only thing not elite is their walk percentage. That is below league average, but they're not striking out in an elite 18.4% and smashing the dog piss out of the ball. They're number one in isolated power, guys, with an absurd 309. Let me break that down for you. 170 is great, guys. They fucking doubling what great is considered right now. So, wow. Let's go see who the fuck they've seen then in the last 2 weeks. My guy already told you they smacked the fuck out of Udi Perez. He didn't make it to the second inning. And my guy was on his hits over, and he cashed it in the first 6 batters. So,
that was fun. That was fun.
But one thing, guys, that Udi Perez does and that we also know is he throws that high velo fastball way too fucking much. You cannot fucking throw it 60+% of the time versus this Braves team, guys. They are fucking them and the Astros are the 2 best high velocity fastball hitting teams in the league. So I don't care. I didn't run them versus the Braves, bro. I knew Yuri was going to get baptized. I didn't have the balls to bet it. My man next to me made some money off of it. Alcantara, guys, he got hit hard, guys, but he started the game getting hit hard, and then he settled on in, and he actually cashed where he closed at a 4.5, and he went 5 innings with 6 strikeouts. Sonny Gray, he hit his over 4.5, going 6.2 innings with 5 strikeouts, and Gavin Williams, like we said, he only got 2 strikeouts, but he did go 6.1 innings, but he also was one of those guys who uses that high-velocity fastball a lot, and you're not going to get those guys with that pitch often. So let's talk about it. Bieber, of course, he didn't go 5 innings. I didn't expect him to. Joe Ryan got baptized, not making it to the 4th inning. And every rookie, guys, with high velocity has had a problem versus this team. So I don't really care that happened with him. Okay. So let's get into it, guys. On this show, I will always say good pitching beats good hitting. And yeah, we know this guy has high velocity, and I just said this team is a great high velocity hitting team. But when I go look at this guy's splits, he throws his fastball just as much as his slider, guys, about 39%. And if he just ticks it down to about 35 and keeps these motherfuckers honest today, oh God. So I'm on a half unit over 7.5 at -125, guys. As I went through the entire year of the Braves game logs, guys, and then backed it with my book and then started doing checks on checks on checks. And I figured out the way to slap these motherfucking Braves. And here we go. Guys this year with a solid strikeout percentage of 25% or better and a career K per 9 versus the left-handed side of 9 or more have done some damn damage versus this team, guys. At least the first time seeing them, as in the second time Nola seen them, he didn't have those strikeouts. But Logan Gilbert, he qualifies under the 25% with a career 9 versus the lefties. And he went 6 innings with 9 strikeouts, where Aaron Nola had 7 the first time he's seen them in 6 innings. Now, if we jump it up to elite K percentages of 27 or better and a career K per 9 now of 10 versus the left-handed side, they've murked these boys. And that's the numbers Glasnow falls under today, guys. He's elite with an 11.2 K per 9 versus the left-handed side. And that's not talking the dominating shit that he's been doing this year. Granted, that's a small sample size. So I decided to do career numbers on the lefties with everybody. And this is what I figured out, guys. Hunter fucking Green, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts. Max Scherzer, 5.2 innings with a 10 pack. Hunter Brown had himself 7 on 4.2. Those are all the pitchers they've seen this year with elite strikeout percentages and a career K per 9 of 10 or more from the left-handed side. This lines up for a Glasnow smack spot, in my opinion, guys. Now, does he give up runs? I don't fucking care. That's not what I'm betting here. I'm betting this guy to get some strikeouts today. And I love the fact that this team ain't walking, as the only issue for Glasnow has been his walks. So, yeah.
Anybody who you might see on Twitter or here or anywhere else that is using the Braves strikeout percentage against righties recently to convince you of an under, come back to them with this. Since June 12th, so right around a month, here are the right-handers that they have faced. I'm going to run through them quick. Dinelson Lamet, Connor Siebold, Luke Weaver, Levi Stout, Yuri Perez, Brian Hoeing, Cal Quantrill, Gavin Williams, Shane Beaver, Graham Ashcraft, Michael Lorenzen, Reese Olson, Mason Englert, and Kenta Maeda. And then he also did face Joe Ryan, Alcantara, Nola, and Sonny Gray, but that's 4. And so then you have 4 guys that are decent pitchers this year. And then you have about 12 and then of that 12, you got about 8 of those that are just absolutely ass. Now,
tell me, what does Joe Ryan, what does Sonny Gray, what do they have in common with a couple other of those guys? What is that one thing they have a problem with?
What, Joe Ryan or
Joe Ryan and Sonny Gray combined? What do they have an issue with if you're going to run a K prop on them? What's the one thing you're going to look for on an over or an under?
Lefties versus righties.
All right, they have an issue with lefties. That's the issue here, is a lot of these guys with good K percentages that face the Braves, they don't fucking strike out lefties, guys. And this is a team who runs out 4 lefties every fucking night. And that's where I dug in and found, I was like, we need good K percentages and dudes who dominate lefties versus this team. And yeah, it just backs up what you were saying right there, bro. It kind of all falls in, dude. Yeah, I'm digging it even more now that I know you like it, even though I thought you were going to be against me, because I know you've been taking everybody and their mom under with the Braves. I said, oh, fuck.
No, and I take people under with the Braves where the numbers match up, and they just do not match up here. They just don't. I always look, and for everybody that might be seeing me on the show for one of the first times, I always look for what I call correlative metrics. And so what I mean is, it's one thing to just throw out there and be like, oh, he's got a 26.4% strikeout percentage versus right-handed batters. Okay, well, how many right-handed batters are they running? Well, 2. Well, then what the fuck difference does it make? It doesn't matter. Like, that's an irrelevant piece of data. Now, if you say Glasnow strikes out 40% of lefties and they're running 4 lefties out there, my God, that matches. Same thing with the umpire, Jerry Lane. He calls a lot of balls versus strikes. But if you're not going to take pitches, if you're not going to give him a chance, he can't call a ball. If you're going to swing and be aggressive, he can't call a ball. So the only way to get a ball called is by taking a pitch, and the Braves haven't been doing that.
Yeah, which, like, once again falls under my fucking let's go Glasnow, bro. I fucking love me some Tyler. I might hate him by the end of the day, but I love him going into it, bro. I mean, after I dug into it and dug all that shit up, bro, I mean, I just kept going and going and going. And I was like, dude, I found it. Yeah, let's go.
Has to
Next
be.
guy up on the
Has to
board,
be over.
guys, is a spot that I bet 70% of their mothers have already bet today. And I'm going to talk Hunter Brown versus the Mariners. Number 74%. Number 74%. 74 of the black book. Fucking jackass. This year's got a 27.5 strikeout percentage and an 8.5 walk percentage. They morning line over 5.5 at -152. And now he's at an over 6.5 at -102 on FanDuel. PrizePicks has him at a 6.5, where his pitching outs are at 17.5. Projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties, whereas K per 9 this year is 9.6 at home, where he's at today, 10.6 on the road, and he's dominated both sides with a 10.5 K per 9 versus the left-handed side and a solid 10 K per 9 versus the right-handed side. What you got on Hunter Brown?
I mean, given the opponent, the under is out. So if you even think about under, just stop it, cross it off, go cancel your bet. You can't. You cannot bet an under against the Mariners, just period. Or with the Mariners, I'm sorry. So a couple things that support this. Mariners contact rate inside the zone is 3% under league average last 20 days, but their swing rate is above average. So they're swinging more and making contact less. Brown's strike rate is right around at league average. His first strike percentage, it's 60%. It's not great, but it's not like anything that gives me cause for concern. Now, the umpire for this one is another hitter's umpire, Jerry Lane. Low strike. Oh, it's the same umpire. Yeah, Jerry Lane, low strikeout percentage. So where I go with this one is, can Brown throw enough strikes to take advantage of the Mariners' over aggressiveness inside the zone and for their swinging strike percentage in the same vein? Because a league average is 11.2%. The Mariners are swinging 12.7%, whiffing 12.7% of the time. If Brown can throw strikes, this one flies over, and I mean flies over. If he can't, it's going to be a sweat one way or the other.
I had to let the guy in the chat know real quick. Same ump. It's the same game, brother. Yeah, of course it's the same ump because we're talking. No, we're not. Hunter Brown versus the Mariners. We were talking Glasnow and.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. I got my umpires mixed up. Okay, the umpire is neutral for this one. Sorry.
Okay, there you go.
My bad. Nope.
Nah, bro. I'm glad the chat fucking question mark. I was like, yeah, bro. What the fuck? And I was like, no, wait, we're not talking whoever the fuck the Mariners. We'll talk him at the end real quick though. We will talk a little Castillo at the end.
No, but, I apologize. I have them listed next to each other on my spreadsheet, and I read the wrong line. My bad.
Appreciate you, chat. Got to keep us honest, Benjamin. Appreciate you.
Agreed.
All right, guys. Now we get a spot from the baseball gods with Hunter Brown, as the Mariners over the last 15 days, as they're below league average in walk percentage and they're striking out at a 26% clip. Now they are hitting the ball a whole lot better than what we have come accustomed to, as they are now 5th in that time span in isolated power. If we look at Brown and how he's done this year versus teams with a K percentage of 24 or worse, he's seen the Braves. He went 4.2 innings. He got hit hard, but still had 7 strikeouts. He's seen the Rays. He went another 7 innings, had 8 strikeouts. The Los Gigantes, where he only went 4.1 innings and had 4 strikeouts. I remember that vividly because I was on him. Back-to-back with the A's, where he had 9 and 10 strikeouts. A game with the Twin Twins, where he had another 8 strikeouts. And then my Dodgers, who were striking out at a 24% clip at the time. And we were on him for a heavy bet. And he got himself for a 7-piece. So this man does damage when given the opportunity, as he is 6-1 to the over 6.5 when facing a team with a K percentage of 24 or worse, averaging 7.6 strikeouts a game. And we had a 5.5 at -150, and now even money on the 6.5 plus money somewheres. Talk about learning from my losses on this show a lot, guys. And one thing I've had to remind myself is, if you set the line at a certain juice and they go under, pay the fuck attention to it. As I didn't the last time, and I got smacked for it. So, as crazy as this may seem, guys, you will not see this motherfucker's money on Hunter Brown today, as I believe this line should have opened up at a 6.5 -130 to a -150, then to get bet to a 7.5. This should not be an even money type bet, in my opinion, and it should have never been a motherfucking 5.5. So, I have to pay attention to my alarm bells And the same thing happened with Castillo in this game, guys, when they put him at a 5.5, where he's hit that at a 90% clip. I just don't bet that way, guys. They put this shit at a very bettable spot and what seems to be a spot from the gods. And Taj Bradley was in that same fucking spot, guys. And I got fucking popped in the goddamn mouth. Taj Bradley should have never been plus money on that 6.5. And I got to remind myself that when you make your lines, you need to stick to that shit. And no, they're asking you to bet this guy and what looks to be and what I wanted to hammer this spot, as I thought it would have opened up juice 6.5 and moved to 7.5. But I've got to pay attention to the rules I've put in place, guys. And I circled that 5.5, and when I seen it, I shit my pants. So I'm not betting it. You won't see me on him today.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. I'm personally not playing it either, but if you're
crazy to hear I'm not on it, huh?
No.
Bro,
If you're gonna play,
you knew if it wasn't a fishy line, I would have been on it. You knew by the 5.5 that you're all sharp.
Yeah, and the minus 180 juice, and until it moved to 6.5 not too long ago, the minus 180 juice is just fucking stupid.
Bro, minus 150s were out there, bro.
Yeah,
minus 150s were out there on legit books, and it opened minus 160 on Caesars. And I'm like, as soon as I saw the 5.5 minus 160, I didn't give a fuck about the juice. I saw it. I was like, 5.5. Go to bed. We're done. That was the one line I wanted last night. You know, that was the one I thought would have shot over at if they would have opened it at the right.
Right.
And I'm not saying he don't hit it, guys. I just don't do what the books ask, bro. And they're begging you to bet this man today.
And but if you are going to look at it, you can look at alting a down one. That might work. But if you are going to bet it straight up, if you have to have action on the game, you cannot take an under strikeout prop with the Mariners. Cannot do it.
His outs are at 17.5. Everything matches up to regular shit for him except his strikeouts.
Yeah.
There's nothing fishy in any other line except his goddamn strikeouts. So this guy doesn't go 7-5. That's not what Hunter Brown does.
No.
The only time he didn't hit his K prop versus a K percentage like this, he got mollywop versus the Giants, guys. And something's telling me, bro, this real easy money line on Seattle today, guys. I don't know. You may be on a parlay or two of mine, but you know, I just gotta fade this team with no Altuve and Jordan.
Well, I mean, even look on the other side of the equation, and Castillo's line's fishy as too.
Bro, I wanted him, bro, and I was digging. I was like, 5.5. Oh, my buddy's like that. I was kicking it in my Discord with, and he goes, Sharpie, what the fuck did you tell me? He goes, if it's 5.5, run for the fucking hills. He goes, then we're done. We're done, Sharpie. I says, you're right, bro. You're fucking right, dude. They don't just do this shit, bro. So I could see 7 innings, 5 strikeouts coming from Castillo.
Yeah. And the umpire for this game was announced, Brian Onora, and very, very average at everything. Like literally like average, like the definition of average. Everything is league average across the board for him.
Yeah. So just something in my stomach and the way I bet, guys, tells me that I got to leave him alone. No matter how bad I wanted to bet him today, guys. At the end of the day, I've got to pay attention to alarm bells.
Yep.
Let's talk about Zachariah Gallen versus the Pirates. At least he's at home. Thank you, baby Jesus. K percentage. Well, not K percentage. Number 46 in the black book. This year has a 27% strikeout percentage and a 5.1 walk percentage. Opened him up 7+ at plus 116 on FanDuel, where the best line available is still on FanDuel at plus 112. PrizePicks has him at a 6, whereas outs, under, over are at 8. That can't be his. I don't think it's at 16.5. No way, Jose. He's at 18.5, and he's not on PrizePicks because I know I was looking at his outs. So that's not his PrizePicks outs. Projected lineup: 5 righties, 4 lefties. K per 9 this season. He has a 10.7 at home, 11 on the road, 10.5 versus the left-handed side, and 11.2 versus the right-handed side. Let's talk Zach Gallen.
All right. Well, it's Zach Gallen at home, so I'm not really sure that you can look at an under, even though that was at least when it opened, that was what the juice was at. But I mean, we all know Gallen's history at home here. 32% strikeout percentage versus lefties, 30.6 versus righties, and very, very limited history against this Pirates lineup. He's got 38 plate appearances against them. That's not really enough for me to make any kind of distinction. But where I do go is how many strikes is he going to be able to throw early in these Pirates hitters? They do take a lot. They have a 26.9% chase rating, which is almost, which is over 2% under league average. But then again, you think about 2%, that's not that much. Well, when you factor it across 738 plate appearances, and then you factor an average of 4 to 5 pitches per at bat, yeah, that's a lot of takes. That is significantly under league average. As a result, their called strike rating during that same time period is 17.6% compared to a league average of 16.3. It's up there. So they're not afraid to go down in the count. The problem that they have with this one is that Zach Gallen at home is absolutely fucking lethal when he gets ahead in the count 1-2 or 0-2 at home. Strikeout percentage nearly over 40%. So is my key to this game is, can Gallen throw enough early strikes? His first strike percentage is 66.2% for the year. So history would indicate, yes, he can. And will he be able to throw enough follow-up strikes to get a foul or whatever to get ahead 1-2 or 0-2? If he can do that, he can K 10, 10 or 11. If he can't, this one might be a sweat.
Some Zacky Zach, man. Gotta get into some Zacky Zach. Gets his second matchup of the year versus the Pirates, guys, after they smacked the living dog piss out of him last time, as he didn't go 4 innings. And the numbers screamed fire away at a K-prop as they were striking out over a 30% clip at the time. Now, he was on the road, and up until last week versus the Angels, his strikeouts have fallen off a fucking cliff on the road. But he's home now, guys, so let's check out these Pirates numbers over the last 15 days. And they're walking and striking out league average, 19th in isolated power. But it is really hard for me to take in much of those numbers, as Reynolds came back 3 days ago and Cabrian Hayes came back last night. And those are their 2 best players, guys. So when I look at the batter versus pitchers, there's no one with more than 9 plate appearances, guys, and that's Connor Joe. But that motherfucker got 4 punch-outs, guys. Now, I personally like 15 at-bats or more, but I cannot ignore fucking 4 punch-outs and 9 at-bats. That's something I will look into, and I hope they put Connor Joe up towards the top. It's hard, guys, for me to look at who they've even seen over the last 2 weeks. I don't even want to go back and even look at that because, like I said, they were missing their 2 best players. Well, guys, I'm still going to need lineups on this to see if and how I'm going to fire on his K-prop. As like my guy said, his strikeout percentage is an elite 31.3% at home and a 22.3% on the road. Like I said last week, though, as Team Sharpie did get on us some Gallen, guys, and he's too good for those numbers to keep up. I do expect by the end of the year to look a lot better than it does now. Now, the one issue, guys, with running a K-prop on Gallen for me, guys, is this man is an elite pitcher. And that means he looks to go deep into games and not strike people out. He spoke about it last year, and I've seen it while being on a strikeout props over. This man is okay with going 7 innings and having 0 strikeouts. He cares more about being there for his team than he gives a damn about his own box score, guys. Like, this dude is an elite pitcher, guys. He's a guy you want on the front end of your rotation, a guy who looks to go deep. You're not going to go deep if you're punching 10 guys out a game, guys. It's rare. It's rare. Even fucking Strider going 6 every game with that. That's crazy that you're going that long while punching them out. That means you're keeping your pitch count down. And most guys who punch people out, they ain't keeping their fucking pitch count down, guys. So, yeah. Let's get to it, though. Me personally, guys, they jumped him up a strikeout, as this man has a 50% win percentage to the over 5.5. So the books are fucking thinking that he's going to get it, and they've got to have their leverage on the under. And yeah, I'm not into betting that type of shit, guys. So me personally, once the lineups come out, I was looking to alt cease to somebody. This may be the guy I end up alting cease to, as I do want those 4 lefties they're projecting, and I do want Connor Joe in the motherfucking lineup, guys. So If not, depending on how I get in today, guys, I may go on his outs over 18.5 at plus money, as this guy does not look to punch people out, like I said earlier, guys. And wouldn't be surprised today if they take the reins off him a little bit, knowing that the All-Star break is coming, and let him hit that over 100 pitch count. Now, it does suck betting outs on Zach Gallen. They rarely let him go past the 90 pitch mark. 91, 92, guys. Oh, he might have a chance to come out. No, the fuck he don't. That's how it is with Zach Gallen this year, guys. Trust me. I've been on that. So betting his outs has not been fun, knowing that they do cap this guy around that 90-ish pitch mark, guys, where when you're betting a guy's out, sometimes you need that fucking 100. So right now, lineup based, I will be looking to pull him down to where he belongs if I get in, as I will never, ever bet a number where I believe they shouldn't be. And they put him up to 6.5, where he's only got a 30% win percentage over his last 10 games. And like I said, a 50% to the 5.5. So I can get some heavy juice, not even heavy juice. I can get some juice, but no, not a whole number up. That's just not the way I get down. So if I do pull him down, it will be to fucking Dylan Cease. There was lots of other guys on the list that we didn't talk on this show. And if I didn't talk about them, it's because I don't have a bet on them. But I did end up firing on Dylan Cease, guys. I took his outs over 17.5 at minus 120 for a half unit. As we talked about it yesterday with Perez, every one of our guys have gone at least 6 innings versus this Cardinals team that throws 95 miles per hour or above, with the majority of them cashing their strikeout props other than Garrett fucking Cole, who can suck a fucking dick because I was on that day. But still, we still got the way to attack him, guys. His K prop to me is over or nothing. I didn't fire on him straight away on the 7.5, and I still might, depending on the lineup. And I doubt they're going to run those 2 quacks they ran at the top of the lineup yesterday, as they couldn't get to Yuri. You're not getting to that, man. So at the end of the day, lineup depending on how I bet Cease as well. You got anything on Cease? Or is he muted? Or is he gone?
I am muted. There we go. Yeah, no, nothing on Cease for me. I crossed him off my list pretty early, just because, I mean, a lot of the stuff that you mentioned already. But the Cardinals, only a 20.8 K percentage against righties lately, facing a couple decent ones at least. This line with the 7.5, yeah, it's over or nothing. I'm not that confident enough in the over, even if I can get it at plus money. So it's one that I'd rather just leave alone.
Yeah, someone asked about Carlos Rodon. I do not bet people on pitch counts. I don't think he goes more than 75 pitches today. So if I was to back Rodon, I'd look at like a first 5. I'd look at the money. I don't bet props on anybody on a pitch count. I don't care who it is. We talked about it yesterday. There's more advantages to an under on a prop than an over, and you're cutting your percentages down when betting on a guy with a pitch count. You just are, bro. The guy could get hurt. The coach can say you're done. Anything could fucking happen, guys, to where the rain can come. They think the rain's going to come. Anything can happen, and you don't cash that over, guys, and you're going to add on another percentage for the books. Even though Scooble cashed the other day, I would still tell you it's a bad bet 100% of the time. I just don't get down like that. I just don't want to give. I need the percentages on my fucking side, not on theirs. So I think he's going to have a great game. The dude's been elite getting ready. The dude's a fucking stud. But I don't bet guys on pitch counts.
Yeah, and I saw another. Yeah, sorry. First of all, I'm the same way on Rodon. And first of all, I think it was Luke Murphy that asked it. So shout out to Luke Murphy, because he always likes, always retweets, always supports us. So very much appreciated. And I am the exact same way on Carlos Rodon. I have no idea how long he's going to pitch for. I don't know if his arm's going to hold up. I don't know. I mean, you can hear all that stuff about how inside sessions and bullpen and minor league rehab, that, he looked good. Okay, that's great. But he's throwing in no pressure and is probably throwing at 75 to 80% of his normal capacity and load. And now you're going to put him in the middle of a crowded stadium. Yeah, there's just too many things that could go wrong, especially when they have him lined like they do at 6.5. And in no world am I paying -180 for an under. I'm just not doing it. So yeah. And then I see the other one, thoughts on Manoah returning tonight. Just watch and see what happens. He spent way less time in the minors than I thought he was going to, because he wasn't just bad. I mean, he was fucking abysmally bad, like historically bad, and then went to the rookies league and has an ERA of like 100. So, I mean, pitching against 18 and 19-year-old kids. And
he had one good game, bro, and now they're bringing him up.
No.
And, dude,
no.
I get it. It's 18-year-olds. If you're going to ask for a baseball team with a bunch of 18-year-olds on it, you're asking for the Tigers. But fuck no would I ever put my goddamn money on that fat slob, dude. He's a fucking wasted piece of space. Until he can take his fucking diet healthy, I will never bet on that guy. The dude showed up 50 pounds over fucking weight, couldn't fit into his goddamn jersey, bro. He don't care. He don't give a fuck. Why am I going to put my money on a guy who don't give a rat's ass about himself? I can't get there with Alek Manoah, bro. I don't give a fuck if he has a great game today. Until this dude takes his actual personal life and takes that serious. That's why you get sent down to A-ball, to get your personal life together. Not to fucking get your pitching together. Your personal life.
No, that was a message. That was a message from the Blue Jays that, like, you got one more shot at this kid. Like otherwise we're fucking done with you. Because, and then the other thing that if you remember where they send him in A-ball, where is that also? That's also where the Blue Jays have all their strength and training facilities. So that was a subtle message for them saying, yeah, you don't have to work on your pitches, but you're a fat ass and need to lose weight because, and yes, you know, I could stand to lose a few pounds, but it's not my fucking job to pitch and be in pristine physical condition. It's Alek Manoah's job to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like...
That's your occupation. That's how you make your living.
I'm not saying he was never a small guy. Never. No. Never a small guy, bro.
No.
And I'm not saying be freaking have an 8-pack and all that, bro. But, I mean, don't go have McDonald's after or before the game, bro. Like, why don't you have a fucking chicken salad or a steak salad, bro? You got cash, bro. Go have a fucking filet mignon and some potatoes. Like, fuck, bro. Why you need to have fucking In-N-Out on top of your Wendy's burger, you fucking piece of shit? All right. Sorry. You asked, sorry, chat. You asked about Alek Manoah, bro. You got me on a sick one, bro.
And then I just, one more. I saw PrizePicks had Montgomery out, the Corey Allen comment. PrizePicks had Montgomery outs and Ks, both 5-5 the over, asking for over money. They sure are. They sure are. And if you go look and you will see that Montgomery has been averaging 6.53 innings per start over his last 5 starts. Tonight, his outs are set where they think he goes less than 6. And actually, this is a tick up because people are betting the over. This started off near 5 innings. Well, why would a pitcher have a short start? Why would a pitcher have a short start? Well, he throws a shit ton of pitches. So then you go look and you see that he's facing the White Sox, who don't walk, who don't take shit for pitches, who swing aggressively and hack at the ball. Okay, you see he's got a 27% strikeout rating against this White Sox lineup. So could it be because he's striking out a ton of guys? Maybe. But his line set at 5.5, which is, and with juice to the under, which is probably a little bit on the low side. What's the other reason why a guy has a short start? Because he gets the shit kicked out of him. That's why. So do the books know something? Oh, we'll find out. But
yeah, Montgomery was someone I looked at for a little bit, and then I let him go. I just didn't get into it.
Be careful with Montgomery. Now, could the books be wrong, and could he fly over his innings prop and pitch 7 innings? Of course he can. But the White Sox are an aggressive swinging team. They're not taking a whole ton of pitches, and you have a guy who's going 6.5 innings, which if a team's putting the ball in play, you're throwing less pitches. And his innings prop or his projected innings is almost 2 innings less than normal. That's got to tell you something, guys. It's got to tell you something. So this is what I talked about last night when Sharpie tweeted and I retweeted about reverse engineering lines. You have to look at a line and say, what is this line saying to me? What is this line speaking to me? Because if there's, so like, for example, we talked about Sandy getting 28 plate appearances per game. If his outs prop was set where he's only going to pitch 22 and you're thinking, oh, fuck, he's going to kill that. They don't give away free money. You got to dig deeper and find out why. You have to assume that there are no lines out there right now, especially now in the middle of the day on game day, that there are no lines out there that are a mistake, that they're all relatively correct in some fashion. The job here is to figure out why is it set the way it is. So anyways,
I love covers. If you guys don't have covers.com, you can always check up a pitcher's prop that day and see what their last 10 were, what they're averaging on their strikeouts, their hits, everything. This guy's never been lined higher than a 17.5. Montgomery has never been above a 17.5 all year. Last week, 16.5, 17.5, 16.5, 17.5, 16, 16, 16. So I'm not going to say that's a trap. They've never put it at 18.5. So if you're betting fucking Montgomery out props, you're fucking raking right now. So I don't know if that one's a trap on that.
It just, what seemed weird to me is when you have a team like the White Sox who are ultra aggressive, their overall swing rate, they are actually one of only 2 teams in baseball over the last 20 days that have a swing rate of over 50%. 3 teams. Tigers are the other, Rockies are the third. So they have the highest swing rating in baseball. And if you're swinging at a lot of pitches, there are 2 things that happen. 1, you make contact, or 2, you don't. If you don't make contact, you have strikeouts. The strikeout prop is set at average. So that would indicate that they're probably going to make some contact. What are they going to do with that contact? That's where the answer lies, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the White Sox.
And that's what I mean when I talk about reverse engineering lines.
Yeah, he was someone I looked into, but like I said, I just didn't much. But since we brought him up, I was like, I had to go look and see where his outs have been. I'm like, has it been shady? Then like you look at when he's placed at a 17.5 over his last 10, he's only 2-2, but yet he's won his 6 straight out props. And they've never put him at 18. So I mean, there's just a lot to read in that right there.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Another one someone was asking, and I'm looking at Alting, is Andrew Abbott. Obviously, Andrew Abbott has figured out how to strike out MLB fucking hitters.
Sure has.
As this dude is putting his nuts on the fucking table. Now, you should already know if I didn't talk about him, I didn't bet him. As if I do, I'm gonna have to pull him down. They're putting him at a 7.5. Now, does he not belong there? The way I see it, no. He's been in a 6.5 one time, and he hit that. So I expected a 6.5. And if you got in last night, there were like minus 155, I believe, 54 I saw on the 6.5. And I was like, God damn. Well, within minutes or whatever, it was a 7.5. And I don't chase guys. So if I do, I will pull him down. And I will tweet any other action as like there is so many pitchers going today. And I've got a whole unit bet. Yeah, crazy, right? Stupid. Me, bro. But we both put real money on this shit, guys. And I'm not just here to give out picks. And if I don't feel great, I'm not going to give it out. And I'm not going to bet it.
Yeah, I just, that has been my personal mantra since I started, is that if my own money isn't on it, I never tell you to bet it either.
And that's why, literally, like we were talking as we were doing the show, we can go back 2-3 months of a game that we lost money on, a bet on. I hate people who have to go look. Oh, let me see what I bet today. Bro, I can tell you what I fucking lost fucking 3 months ago. What do you mean bet today? How you not know what you bet today? Because you ain't fucking betting it is what I'm going to say, bro. But that's just my opinion. I know, like you can go back to whatever game you lost or won and be like, this is what happened. And that's because we put money on it. You put fucking money on it, you're going to remember it one way or the other. Because it's a satisfying or a dissatisfying experience when it all comes to it. Well, bro, we fucking like murked about 10, 12 pitchers. We talked about everybody on my board that I would fucking talk about. And I will tweet out whatever alt parlay I do figure out with Cease, as I do want some action on him as well today. But lineups pending for most of this action. So make sure you follow me on Twitter because I ain't posting it anywhere else, guys, at the end of the day. Appreciate my boys showing up, and fuck, dude, we probably stayed way past your calling card time, but dude, it's always fun talking baseball.
Nah, we're good.
Tell them where to find you and what you got going on.
At Spin Doc Sports, man. I'm gonna have my like I said, my tout, my public prop. Should be posted pretty soon. We're on a 14-5 run right now, so it's been going really well, and ready to wash the taste out of last night. Ready to wash the taste out of last night. I know, people that are just like, oh, it's, don't worry about it. Like, you still, this or that. You're still the GOAT because, 14-5. I'm like, it's not the 14 wins that I really care about, honestly, because I expect to win every prop that I play. It's the 5 losses that drive me fucking batshit. So that's just how I approach this.
I know it drives you batshit because I'll get a message. This motherfucker, some bitch, fucking goddamn it. I'm like, oh, fuck. What happened? Hey, I knew because we were both on Bybee yesterday. I was chilling, watching fucking something. I was not watching that game because I tend to box score watch until I get ahead on a strikeout prop because I have full-blown meltdowns like a 5-year-old baby when watching strikeout props when I get 2 strikes and I don't get a strikeout. So until my guy gets up, I will not fucking watch that shit. I will box score watch it. And I was box score watching it, watching my murder mysteries. And bleep bleep comes on my phone. And I said, oh, fuck, that's either my Twitter group or Chris. Didn't look at it. Picked it up. I said, yep. Looked at this pitch count. I said, yeah, we're done. Fuck Bybee. He's done today.
Yep.
So it's just is what it is, bro. When you got money on it, you tend to care a little bit more. And like you said, we do expect to fucking win. So make sure you are following him as he does give out free money more often than not. And even when I have bad days, dude, it's the chat that picks me up. It's the people out there in Twitter world, bro, because I want to hang myself and I want to beat myself up. And you'll get a message from somebody. Somebody messaged me like, hey, bro, even the Warriors went 73-9, dog. You can't win them all. Makes you smile and makes you get the cap in the Knights card when you want to fucking hang yourself. So appreciate all the ones out there that do appreciate our work, guys, because there's some dicks out there who like to razz us on when we lose, bro. And it's like, yeah, you think we're going to win 100%, bro? You fucking show me 100%, bro, and I'll suck that dude Johnson.
That's what the block button's for. That's what the block button's for.
Bro, I block people so gosh damn quick, bro. I've got dudes making fake Twitters right now and then liking something of mine to remind me that it's them so I can block them. Like, yeah, bro, sure, click. Like, dude, don't be me. I'm allowed to be a dick. Don't be me. So, appreciate you all for showing up, guys. As you already know, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, smash the like and then go on over there and use that promo code PubSports. Get a match deposit of $100 on your first deposit with a minimum of $25. Until next time, I'm Sharpie's Bets. This show is produced by Big Show Picks, and our special guest today was Spin Doc Sports. Some say we be pubbing. I say pubbing we be.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here. Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single